Relevant. Oh, let's try that again. Away we go. The Monday edition, Mr. Relevant. Will, you got a case of the Mondays back there? What's going on, man?
I got a case of someone not getting out of my way.
Yeah,
until...
that's me.
You're just going to wear that one, Joshy?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Away we go on this Monday.
It's fair blame.
Good to be back with you.
You pointed the finger, and I accept it.
I must say
and
this.
I'm not a guy to point the finger. You guys all know that. I'm a thumb pointer.
You are. Yep, you're a me guy, no doubt.
No.
Me
I'm
guy.
a we.
No, you're a me guy. You're a thumb pointer.
Team.
No.
Yeah, team.
Will is
Pointing the thumb is a we guy move.
Yeah, it is.
Will is the I in team guy. Like, who are we joking here?
No.
I must say, it's good to be back in studio. And I know a lot of people were watching games Friday, so they may not have been with us live or listen back on the podcast feed because it was an unbelievably fun weekend in the NCAA tournament, aside from the Badgers' loss Thursday. I don't think I do well when I'm out of my normal element.
No, you don't.
Now,
you couldn't stop touching me.
That's true. You were very close to me.
Don't blame that on it.
Right. I sit next to Ben Brust on that show.
But he's not a touchy guy.
No, but I don't have the problem with touching him.
Well, you're not a touchy guy either. You're both not touchy guys. I'm a touchy guy. I like dapping up. I like hugging. I like handshakes. I talk with my hands a lot, as you know. You sit in the studio with me enough. But yeah, it's good to be back in our studio in the Gruber Law Office. One call that's all studio. Big thanks to our friends at Potawatomi Sportsbook for having us out. I would also say, though, Joshy, I think I'd do better outside of the studio if we literally weren't in the epicenter of everything happening in Milwaukee. Right? Like every time a basket was scored, you heard the eruption of the crowd in the sportsbook. And it was March Madness Friday. There's games at 11 a.m. Had it just been a normal, regular, schmegular Friday, I would have been much more well-behaved.
If that's what you think, that's fine. There was certainly a lot going on. We were all, basically everyone in the room was heavily invested in Santa Clara, which they got screwed. I'm not letting living that one down.
It's all right.
But you could hear the people behind us.
Yeah.
It was we were just getting going for what was a pretty good weekend, I think, in terms of entertainment. I think Saturday was a little disappointing, but Sunday brought it big. There was plenty of close games, couple upsets, kind of all the things you look for. We didn't get a lot of that earlier, except for, of course, Wisconsin Badgers.
Yeah, I mean, you had a couple, Texas and VCU and stuff like that.
Yeah, but Texas was favored, I believe. Or Texas was only like a 2-point underdog. Like a lot of those were really close games. The Badgers were the only 1 through 5 seed to lose. They went 19-1, which is sort of a little tough thing to swallow
in the opening round.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We'll get to what's even tougher to swallow in a moment with the Badgers.
But yesterday was a good day. I thoroughly enjoyed, I don't know, the majority of the day.
Yeah, here's the one problem I actually had with Sunday. We can't repeat the schedule of Saturday. Saturday morning, I'm good with one game at a time, then 4 games. I'm good with that on Saturday. Sunday, we've got Alabama tipping off at 8:50 p.m.
Local time.
I got stuff to do, man. I got sleep to have. And luckily that game was a blowout, so you could go to bed early.
I know they're trying to take most of the primetime viewership as like possible. I understand like the motivation of why it's scattered that way, but the fact that there's moments from the moment it starts at 11:10 local time, there should be no moments of that day then through the rest of the day that don't have basketball. There should be no off time.
And we've been trained so well the previous 3 days, right? Because
right.
Sunday is the finale, at least for the first weekend, and for the women's side, which we're watching right now in the studio, it's Monday. You should have basketball all day,
yes,
without fail, from 11 to 11. Right, that 12-hour window, you've got 8 games to fill it with. Fill it.
Uh-huh.
And that was my irritant yesterday because I was laying in bed by the time Alabama tipped off.
Yeah, I did.
It's a long weekend.
I was fast asleep.
Had a few beverages over the weekend. None yesterday.
That game was in Tampa too, right? So they were starting in Eastern time.
At 10 o'clock, yeah. I think you're right.
That's crazy.
Oh, no, they were in, where was that game?
Pretty sure it was Eastern time.
Regardless, it was a blowout. Texas Tech didn't bring it.
Yeah, it was tough.
But hey, Alabama bettors rejoice. So, here's where I'm stuck.
I can't bet on Alabama. Nate Oates is a bad guy.
What do you do?
Just look at his program.
They had the easiest path to the Sweet 16.
They had a G leaguer playing who they had to go to a friendly judge to get approved, and then some sense came in and they're like, oh wait, you can't play. But that guy just played games in the middle of the season.
I'll tell you. I'm going to say this right now. And I don't know if you watched any of the high school hoops Saturday, Joshy.
No.
But I
got time for all that.
I bring this up for a reason. Nate Oates attempts to win within the rules in which he's given, or the lack thereof.
Uh-huh.
And a big thing from the high school state tournament, which, by the way, there were several really good games on Saturday, Championship Saturday at the Kohl Center. Props to our ESPN Madison team for carrying all those games. There was multiple games in which teams were holding the basketball because there's no shot clock in Wisconsin's basketball. And while I agree that there should be a shot clock,
right,
there isn't.
Correct.
Therefore, you play within the rules that you were given and attempt to win within the rules you were given. And I think in this situation for Nate Oates, not all situations by any means, but in this situation, the rules or lack thereof in regards to eligibility and transfer portal and NIL, you got to do what you got to do, man.
Yeah, I think there's some fine lines we can cut here, and certainly the offense of trying to get a kid who was in the G League and playing professional basketball in is a little different than Brandon Miller facilitating a firearm that was then used in a murder.
Okay. Yep.
And then allowing that kid to play after that. I do think there's degrees to it, but
I said this situation, not all of them.
When you have those things in your past, people are going to. Here's another one. You want to talk about current pop culture? Chapel Roan. Got in trouble.
Where is this going?
Got in trouble this weekend because her security guards apparently made a child cry who is the child of Jude Law.
Yes,
and
I did see this.
the stepfather is a professional soccer player.
Quick timeout. Will just had somebody pop in the studio. So he was a little distracted. Do you have any idea what he's talking about right now?
No idea. I left off on the Nate Oates. I took my headphones off.
Chapel Roan, famed.
Yeah, Chapel Roan, that would be the pop star.
Chapel Roan, famed pop star of Pink Pony Club. You may have heard of it. Only one of the most popular songs.
HOTTOGO.
Yeah.
Yes, she got into there was a little bit of a controversy over
Between
the weekend.
her and Nate Oates?
No.
Right, exactly. I don't know what he's doing right now.
The point I'm making is Chapel Roan has yelled at fans for approaching her, has yelled at paparazzi, has done this all before. So when people see a story about you, they're immediately going to assume the worst. Because if you have a history of behavior that is unbecoming...
So she's like Dan Hurley.
Yes, but she's probably pretty close to Dan Hurley, even though Dan Hurley really doesn't do anything besides kind of like a...
No, she's closer to Mick Cronin, UCLA head coach.
But at least,
Mick Cronin...
He doesn't win, though. I feel like Chaperone's a better artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Nate Oates. Don't like him.
Chapel Roan.
Don't like her either, if I'm being frank. Cartoons.
Yeah.
Like, hey, oh no, you're so rich and famous and people want to talk to you. Life is terrible.
Well, and then there was that fake post circulating where she said, she didn't say this. It was fake.
I don't mess
about my breakfast.
I thought it was real until I saw that and I said, wow, okay.
All right. So, Joshy, I think he did a good enough job setting it up. An 11-year-old child apparently walked by, didn't say anything to her. Security then said, hey, you got to leave Chapel Roan alone. A whole mess. Josh, the thing is, it's 2026 in the United States of America.
Okay.
We make incorrect people famous quite often.
Yes.
What?
Clavicular.
No, not. I was just about to say not him.
Dude, so actually, follow up on clavicular. And for those of you who are not internet addicted idiots like Will and Josh, I've done a little research. Right? I was going to hit this on what we missed, but we can hit it now before we get back to the Badgers and the Sweet 16. Clavicular, this is my understanding of him.
Yep.
You cut me off if I'm wrong. So he is an IRL streamer, a term I just learned, in real life. Mm-hmm. He literally just does things and has a camera on him at all times.
Yep.
So he goes to the gym, he goes to the club, he goes to a restaurant, camera on, streaming. You can watch it. He is relatively attractive. He's in very good shape.
Well, he's relatively attractive because he's a looks maxer. Yeah.
I don't know what that means
yet.
He's
bone smashing.
I haven't gotten that far yet.
He is in search of... So this is a thing that started on 4chan, I believe, of basically men, most often incels, trying to find ways to be as attractive as humanly possible to attract the opposite sex.
So now what I've learned about Clavicular, which is the streamer, he's very successful.
extremely.
He lands a lot of good-looking women at clubs.
I was
thought you were
talking
gonna go
financially.
money. Yeah. He's got a really nice house in Miami.
Well, that too. He's super rich. That also helps in terms of look maxing, which is a term I just learned. Now,
Aura maxing.
sure, if you have a large house and a lot of money, I imagine that helps your aura.
And you're on a stream.
Now, the things that have been popping up into my social media feeds this weekend are he encounters a lot of women who are cheating on people with him.
So that, to my understanding, a lot of that is just people making it up. They are putting context there that isn't necessarily accurate.
but I've seen several videos of her being like, I don't want to be on camera. I can't let my boyfriend see this.
Yes,
And it's multiple different women.
Yes, we call that clip farming in the game.
Dude, how old am I?
You talk to these people, they agree to stuff, and they're saying things that aren't necessarily true. That sometimes they'll even involve a boyfriend who's clearly not actually a boyfriend, who will say, "You're stealing my girl." But this is all so those clips can get repurposed and
I guess
posted on social media, which those people who are posting about them all the time, they're paid to post about them.
Hand up. I have a question specifically for you, Josh.
Yep.
How did you this has now been filtered into my feed because as we know how phones work, right? We've said his name a lot the last 2 weeks.
Me and Josh have sent you a lot of links.
Yeah. Now it's continued to populate my feed on different platforms. Do people watch this?
Yes and no. There's definitely a subset of.
I have secondhand embarrassment.
Yes,
and that's coming from me, by the way. Reminder of who the source in saying that is.
Yes, there are people that watch, and there's some success there. It's not as popular as it may seem because of the way it's pushed out, and people are paid to tweet about it and then interact with it. That's all sort of. I don't want to say psyop, but that's all farming. That's all something done on purpose to push somebody and to make them more popular.
PSYOP, psychiatric operation?
Yes, it's basically astroturfing. You know what that means to astroturf?
Hold on a minute. Give me a little credit on that one. No, I don't.
That's basically just like it's not
fake
as popular.
reality.
Yes, they're creating a reality that doesn't exist. But if you make people believe it enough, eventually it will come true.
I'm starting to realize something. I'm getting smarter working with Josh.
So it's not as big as it seems. But the reason I know about this is because I kept seeing it and I couldn't figure out for the life of me what was going on. I went through your process, but this was just 4 months ago.
So I'm just late to the game.
Just late to the game.
But I don't want to be a part of the game.
No. And the problem is I kept clicking and watching it, trying to figure it out, and then the algorithm feeds itself.
Yeah, and then you're in the game and you can't leave the game.
And then you just start learning more, and then you become more fast. I mean, that's how a lot of stuff works. You just become more interested or knowledgeable.
It's not interesting.
It's not. It's the least interesting thing ever. They're mostly bad people. But just the way to talk about it, gesture maxing, looks maxing. I mean, he's taking like peptides, all sorts of peptides, steroids.
What are peptides? Are they legal steroids?
Yes and no. Sometimes. Well, here's the thing with everything. There is a term peptides that are often used for things that can like help.
So I follow a girl,
but they get used for other stuff as well, and it sort of becomes a catch-all.
So a girl I went to high school with met this.
We went deep.
We need to stop.
Met this body.
This needs to end.
Oh, let me finish it with this.
This is so bad.
Met this bodybuilder, and they moved to a big city in a warm climate. I'm not going to say what part of the country. And she's been posting.
South.
She's been posting now every Monday that it's her favorite time of the week because she's taking her peptides. And I'm like, and it's like needles, and I'm very confused.
So like GLP-1s.
Yes, that's the Ozempics of the world, right? Yeah,
that's a peptide.
But that's a weight loser. Typically.
Yes, and he takes those too as well. Appetite suppressant.
Okay,
but they can also be used for other things.
All right, Dr. Denver Dan chimes in. Strouf all simplified. It's people lying to be interesting. That makes sense. Josh in P Vegas says it's a psychological operation, but close enough, Strouf. I said psychiatric.
Oh, I guess I heard this. I heard you get close, and I just said yeah.
And then Aaron in Mad City doing Will's job and says, "All right, guys, reel it in."
I did just say that.
You did, but Aaron also said it. And I'm going to listen to Aaron.
There's anti-aging and muscle.
We're done.
Peptides.
We're done.
We should get you on peptides.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Is he asking questions because he wants to hop on?
No, but I got to get back in the gym. I overslept this morning.
When's the last time you went to the gym?
Thursday morning.
Okay, that's
last
not too
time
bad.
you had a dooski.
Friday at Potawatomi. So the Sweet 16 is set on the men's side.
You think you're gonna have boulders on your shoulder by the time your wedding comes around?
Boulders might be strong, but hopefully like some
Pebbles?
hopefully somewhere in between, like rocks, like garden rocks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Garden rocks.
Sweet 16 is set on the men's side. Any further questions before I get us back on the track?
No.
All right, great. Sweet 16 is set on the men's side, and there are 6 Big Ten teams in it. 6. 9 Big Ten teams made the NCAA tournament. 2 of them lost opening round, excuse me. That was Ohio State, who was an 8 seed, and Wisconsin, who was a 5 seed. And then UCLA lost last night as a 7 seed to UConn. And every other team made it to the Sweet 16. 1 seed, Michigan. 2 seed, Purdue. 3 seed, Michigan State. 3 seed, Illinois. 4 seed, Nebraska.
5 seed?
No. 9 seed, Iowa. 9 seed, Iowa. No 5 seed.
Go ahead.
So I don't know that I feel better at all
It's
about
worse.
the Badgers because they should have been one of these teams. And even if they weren't one of these teams, it should be 7 teams from the Big Ten in the Sweet 16 rather than just 6. And while what Iowa did was incredible, beating Florida last night, an absolute thriller. What a game that was. Iowa allowed them back in the game, but ultimately finished the deal as a 9 seed, upsetting the first 1 seed in the NCAA tournament to lose. I watched that High Point, Arkansas game on Saturday night, which as a fan of basketball, awesome game. As a fan of the Badgers, made me feel much worse about everything that happened. Because while impressive what High Point's able to do from outside, I mean, they can shoot threes like nobody's business. And Arkansas has maybe one of, if not the best player in the tournament in Darius Acuff, who took over that game at various points on Saturday. I couldn't watch that game but help thinking, this should be the Badgers. What they allowed to happen on Thursday is absolutely inexcusable. And this isn't the first year we felt that way. I think we felt that way last year when BYU was playing in the Sweet 16. I think we felt that way the year prior, and maybe not to this level because that team was not this good despite also being a 5 seed, but when they lost to James Madison. And I've been able to sleep on it multiple days. I've been able to think about it for multiple days, but I can't figure out the answer to the question of why does this keep happening to the Wisconsin Badgers in the NCAA tournament? I can't figure out that answer because all things considered, if we compare the last couple of years, right? Last year it came on late. They were really a one-guy show, though. John Tonje was the center of the show for Wisconsin. The year prior, A.J. Storr was in there. They had some other guys that were solid and good contributors, but they weren't as good of a 5 seed as they were this year. And watching High Point in Arkansas on Saturday and watching 6 Big Ten teams get to the Sweet 16, I still can't figure out the answer. Why does this keep happening? Because I think they've got the good coach. Like, I hate the fire Greg Gard conversation because I think Greg Gard is a really good coach. And I think eventually he will get the Badgers back to the Sweet 16 and back over the hump and hopefully back to an Elite 8 or a Final 4. I think he's proven through his evolution, both coaching-wise and recruiting-wise, he's good enough for the job. Very good at the job, in fact. But for whatever reason, when that NCAA tournament comes around, they keep losing to teams they shouldn't lose to. And I can't figure out why they can't get over the hump. And that's the part that's most frustrating for me.
Well, the not as fun answer, and there's no unifying theory here, I think, is the big problem. I think it was 2 separate issues. I think prior in the years following 2017 to 2023, the Badgers had gotten a little outdated. They had not necessarily been or had the talent to reel off multiple wins in a way that would work in a tournament like the one that's happening now, where you run into all sorts of different styles of teams and athleticism, whereas in the Big Ten, you kind of know what you're getting. It's a style of basketball, obviously Greg Gard and the players are familiar with. I think the problem then was an issue of lack of talent, lack of scoring, and lack of ability to reel off multiple wins. Now I think it's a different issue. And I think it has to do with sort of the reinvention of a program on the fly and doing it the way Wisconsin has to. It would be the Badgers could easily be some other program, name them, that sort of reinvented themselves in this era of NIL and transfer. They just haven't quite nailed it yet. I think Greg Gard's done a great job, but I think there's probably an issue of homegrown talent plus the added talent that you get via the transfer portal, and that all coalescing and sort of making one cohesive team and unit that is better on the defensive side as well as better on the offensive side. The offensive side has improved. The pace is better. Their efficiency is way up. Like, the team can score with the best of them in all of the NCAA, which if you would have asked me this 6 years ago, I'd have told you you're insane.
Sure.
That's just never who they're going to be. I think it's sort of, we're feeling out how Greg Gard is best going to run a team, coach a team, and then recruit a team that is going to be able to win. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Iowa beating Florida. Like, that's just sort of what it is. I don't think their recruiting was better, which led them to that. I think that's just sort of kind of what happens when you get into the tournament. But teams like Nebraska are certainly interesting to look at. How did they do it? How are they where they are? How did they get the 4 seed? How did they win multiple games? The Michigans, I don't think you can really compare yourself to. I don't think that's really fair.
Yeah, I think there's a different investment.
But there's no reason they can't be in Nebraska. There's no reason they can't be in the Sweet 16. I just think the Badgers haven't fully figured it out and have all the right pieces. You're certainly happy to have a guy like John Blackwell stick around.
Yeah.
But that was an investment. He played well and he was great, but you probably need to have a couple more of those guys. And I know Nolan Winter was here from a while. I did see an interesting thing where the theory basically now is teams they've gotten bigger. The best teams have gotten bigger than ever before. They have more guys that are, 6'10" and up.
Sure.
And the theory there is we don't care necessarily about how efficient we are. We want to steal as many possessions as humanly possible, because the more times we have the ball gives us the more opportunity to score. Therefore, we are keeping pace with anybody. And the problem the Badgers had is their 7-footer, who would be getting those rebounds, was hobbled and had 4 rebounds in that game.
Well, yeah, and he came off the bench. He was still limited.
Right, and I think that's probably the next level is recruiting those big guys that can move. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Badgers have had a lot of those guys throughout their history. The problem is those guys are now going other places.
That's true.
Because I think teams have recognized that, so the Badgers are having a harder time keeping it around.
It's not necessarily rocket science, right? I mean, Greg Gard has always emphasized the points per possession and getting possessions up, but maintaining that same level of points per possession, which they did prior to the Kirk Penny years, which really transformed this offense into an 80-plus point offense game. Now, I think that is part of the formula for sure. I think you're absolutely right about that.
And what it also is rim protecting too.
Yeah.
Because that's also a huge part, because either you're shooting a 3 or you're trying to take a shot within 2 feet.
I think you look at the Arizonas.
Yeah.
You look at the Michigans.
I mean, Michigan the past 2 years, they've been giants.
You look at the Iowa States, right?
Yes.
I mean, those are all teams with big guys that can move and fast-paced offenses. But I think this comment from Will on YouTube, not our Will D, on ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. He says the hardest thing to be is a Wisconsin Badgers fan minus women's hockey. Which shout out to them. Another national championship last night, beating Penn State.
Shout out to the I don't know, what is it, the 4 that have won a gold medal and a national championship in 30 days. Yeah, pretty sick.
Pretty sick.
I thought it was
life is good for Layla Edwards.
I thought it was really cool when the Badgers men won the national championship and Cole Caulfield then immediately left school and then was playing in the NHL playoffs.
Yes, that's right.
But winning a gold medal and a national championship all within 30 days, pretty damn cool.
Pretty cool. So Will says, the hardest thing to be as a Wisconsin Badgers fan besides women's hockey. We're a good program overall, but just not there yet. And I almost want to disagree. I mean, you saw so many times what this program was capable of.
Do you want us to be honest?
Yeah, be honest.
The problem is the anchor around the neck of the football team.
Well, that part is a
The
different.
lead and shining example is one of the more disappointing things that you can think of, like across
the program
Wisconsin
that's,
sports.
The program that's most heavily invested in.
Yes.
In terms of obviously the NIL, which naturally men's basketball doesn't need as much money, but there's still finances there, right? The best prospects are going to go for higher dollars than, say, other than quarterback, maybe some of the best prospects on the football field because there's just more people to pay. But there's a lot more of an investment and certainly a more orchestrated and intentioned investment. There we go. Easy for me to say.
I was trying to help you there, and I wasn't exactly sure what you're going for.
Well, the football team is so emphasized, right?
It's a focus.
We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We got to do this.
Well, here's the thing.
Whereas basketball has kind of just done it in silence, and they've still been relevant in making the NCAA
I think
tournament.
the Badgers could make an Elite Eight, and people would still be like, "What the hell's going on at Wisconsin? What's wrong with their?
I don't think so.
What's wrong with the program?"
I think if Wisconsin had won 2 games this weekend, I think everybody's done.
So you think Wisconsin's more of a basketball school than a football school?
They certainly have been the last few years. There was the glory days were the 2010s, where they were both really good.
If you take the Luke Fickle sized chain off my neck, things don't look so bad around here.
It's a big chain.
It's big.
Luke Fickle is not a small human. He played nose tackle. So yeah, I struggle with just watching the tournament. I watched every game. I enjoyed the hell out of most of it.
It was a struggle for you, though?
But Arkansas High Point, I did struggle through. Just because I had a hard time watching it going, how did they not beat these guys?
I thought that would have made you feel better because I think it showed that High Point was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And I think they were the mid-major that had the most NIL money.
Yeah, they were the best mid-major.
What did they win, 30 games this year or something?
Also, they have...
we don't count Gonzaga as a mid-major, right?
No.
Despite being in a mid-major conference.
No.
Also, High Point has more money than anyone. They've chartered flights.
Which is crazy.
From their university.
And by the way, I saw John Calipari, the head coach of Arkansas, talking about how impressed he was with High Point.
Yeah.
We like John Calipari, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like John Calipari.
I'd say so.
I think Kentucky made a bad move by moving on from him.
Well, one of them's in the Sweet 16, the other is not.
Yeah.
The other got trounced. So.
Yeah, I guess Cal's fine. He's very obviously a cheater up until NIL became a thing.
I know a lot of his former players. Like I saw videos of them asking
I saw this too.
Yeah, they
former
for
Kentucky
Arkansas.
players who they wanted to win March Madness. They all said Arkansas.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, he's the reason many of them were millionaires in college.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Thank you for the allegedly, but I don't know. Just ask any athlete who wants to be honest about it.
Well, I don't know that anybody does.
Oh, Arian Foster, friend of the show, has said openly, "I got paid at Tennessee."
Oh yeah.
Maurice Claret, I took a pay decrease to go to the NFL.
I love it.
Alabama,
and now it's legal, so
yeah,
it's not as abnormal. Which I'm also curious to see once the NCAA tournament comes to an end and the transfer portal opens and all that. Will less players declare for the NBA draft?
Yes.
Well, I don't think
previously the draft had an issue of people declaring too early and then going undrafted,
right?
And then they were in this weird spot because they couldn't.
But I'm thinking even like a top 5 pick, Josh. So I'm thinking of like the AJ DeBonstas of the world. He's going to take a pay cut.
I don't know, because what you then do is delay the time to which you can ultimately get a supermax. And
That's
that
true.
money is not going to be rivaled by the money that you're getting in college.
Yeah, but there's no guarantee you're getting
think
supermax.
There is an argument to be made about the guys that are like fringe going to the draft, like fringe late second rounders.
John Blackwell?
Yeah, like staying in college where obviously like any player that has NBA potential playing in college is very good, but if you don't know if you're going to get drafted and you're going to stay in college, get paid another year, get another year to build up your resume. Like a lot more guys are going to lean towards college.
That's what we saw last year with Blackwell. He did the NBA camp, he got an agent, and then he ultimately withdrew and came back, which I imagine might happen again this year. He's only a junior, so he could come back for another year. John Blackwell could in Wisconsin. I'd imagine we'll see that again. Now, granted, I think this is a much better draft class through and through than it was a year ago, but Blackwell is a better player than he was a year ago. So we'll see on that. But
I don't know if we've crossed the Rubicon into like top 5 pick yet.
I think we're getting close, though, because DeBonsta, without a doubt, will take a significant pay decrease. Because I believe it was, $8 million he got from BYU?
7 or 8, yeah.
He's not making that much his rookie year.
What is a top 5 pick salary in the NBA? Look
I think isn't it like it's not close to 10 million, is it?
I don't think it's that much.
Well, yeah.
Oh, is it?
$9 million year one.
Oh, okay.
And then $9 million
Never mind.
year 2.
Never mind. I figured it was significantly less than that.
Good research.
First overall is 13. This is the rookie. I'm looking at the rookie scale. So it seems like if you get the DeBont some money, but
Which not many do.
Which you project, if you're projected to go outside of the top 5, then you could have a conversation because it drops to 8-2, 7-5, 6-8, 6-3, 6.
But does that 7 also count in like endorsements?
No, this is just your. But I mean, DeBonta, even at BYU, is getting endorsements.
So here's the thing: what if BYU approaches AJ DeBonsta and says, "Hey, buddy, we're going to up this to 10 mil for you to come back another year." He has to have a serious moment of reflection, saying, "I am going to take a pay decrease to go to the NBA."
Well, then
I can literally guarantee I'm come back, make more money, and guarantee I'm the number 1 overall pick next year.
Yeah, but is he really going to be outside the top 4?
No, he'll be a top 3 pick, probably.
Yeah, so that's 11-1 if you go third.
Okay, BYU says we'll pay you 12.
It's honestly sad if it comes to that. I feel like being in the NBA is such a privilege.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like you should, if you have the chance to be drafted,
but these guys,
he's a shoe in top 5.
Can we talk about how ridiculous it is a 19-year-old is making $7 million at a university?
No, I mean,
but that's the day and age we live in.
I'm not going to want to take money away from the athlete. I think should be paid anyway. So,
Will chimes in again. Will, welcome to the show. If my boy was making $7 million as a college student, I'm telling my boy to stay in school, stay being a kid and enjoy it.
Yeah, but that's also short-sighted because the potential of an injury that could ultimately alter your future in the college without getting the guaranteed money of what would be an NBA contract is also something that's working against you.
That's true. That's true.
And you could take out insurance policies. And
you can always go back and get the degree. You can't always go back and go into the NBA.
That's true. That's true. But I'm so fascinated by this era because to get back to what I was saying on John Blackwell, who like I said, I imagine the same thing will happen. But can you guarantee he's back in Wisconsin? Probably not. If you're the head coach of Michigan or, say, Arizona or North Carolina, you're absolutely contacting John Blackwell. And you're saying, hey, we're going to pay you more. You're going to come to a school that's set up better.
You're not supposed to be allowed to do that. But
and Cal wasn't allowed to give cars when he was the head coach of Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I don't want to happen, and I can already sort of see it percolate, and I'm not accusing you of this. This is just a general statement. Is there seems to be a focus and a pushback on the athletes getting paid less than there is the universities doing all they can to get people paid and sort of the nefarious nature. Because if there is going to be sort of an NCAA crackdown of any sorts or a regulation, you know who's going to be affected most? The players.
The players.
Right. And that's the one thing I don't want the public to turn on, because if it gets to an extent, that's where people are going.
Absolutely. But this is the slippery slope we were warned about and were worried about in 2021 when this became official.
Well, I mean, there's a pretty easy way. You just cap the number. You make them.
So do you do that by conference?
Right. You make them employees. You sign them to contracts. Like you do. You do it the way you should, instead of opening the floodgates and the NCAA washing their hands of it.
But you and I are both smart enough to realize it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
Or just about 5. It will be 5 years this summer. We've gone too far. And I don't know that you can just step in and be like, okay, there's regulations now.
What do you mean by too far? Define too far.
AJ DeBonsta's making $7 million at BYU.
And that's what he was worth on the open market.
I would guess, and this is just a guess, I would guess probably about 70% of universities in Division I basketball are not paying their entire roster that.
Yeah.
If not higher than 70%. So that's the slippery slope we're on. A salary cap would never work because it's a public institution. Student athlete still matters. That first word still matters.
Yeah, no, you would just do away with the illusion of student athlete. They would be contracted employees. You set a cap, they work within it, you don't spend more. The problem is this exposed sort of the underbelly that we all knew existed, but everyone pretended like it didn't. Like Nick Saban still denying to Shane Gillis that he ever paid athletes. Like, yeah, I'm sure Nick Saban, you never paid them personally,
right.
but the people within your program certainly made ways to pay it, and I'm sure he distanced himself on purpose. But we all know what was happening at Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just happenstance that a lot of the best guys went there. The big issue though is this showed the ease at which a lot of these places can have money, and now it's over the table technically, and it's out in the open. But even if you put a salary cap, that's not going to stop people from improper benefits. Hell, Steve Ballmer and the Clippers have been paying Kawhi Leonard under the table and going behind.
Allegedly.
Yes, allegedly.
He's the owner of a tree business.
No, the business is actually defunct and they're in trouble for a legal hearing. And I might be able to say that because in a sworn testimony, employees of the company that were paying Kawhi Leonard said it was to circumvent the cap. They said that explicitly.
Oh, I missed this.
So it's still allegedly, but somebody said it under oath and under threat of perjury. So
Allegedly.
Right, but nobody's ever lied under oath before.
right, but I think it does give a little bit of clearance there. But all these reviews are not reflected by anybody who works here or who employs us.
Employs you.
Us. You're on the show, buddy.
I didn't say any of those things. Your opinion does not equal my opinion.
No.
Allegedly. All right. Yeah, I don't know. You disappointed by anybody in the Sweet 16? You excited for anybody in the Sweet 16?
I'm excited for myself winning as much money as possible. Other than that, I just want entertaining games.
Talk about a guy pointing the thumb right there.
What else? I don't have a
There's not really a team aspect in March Madness. Like, it's not like we have anything
if
to
my
root for
team's not
together.
in it, I don't care.
You're all sports fans. I mean, Joshy.
I said good games.
I think that you're right. The least of the three of us has watched college basketball this year. He really jumped in head first in the tournament. So I was curious if there was a team that you watched some of and went, holy smokes, they are fun.
Only invested insofar as it can provide me benefits.
All right, I'm just going to name two teams I'm very enthralled with. Okay, team one is Michigan State.
Hate Michigan State.
I love Izzo.
I'm sick of Izzo ball.
I love Izzo. And Cohen Carr is the exact prototype you designed for the month of March. That dude is sick.
Should he be in the NFL?
Maybe. Tight end or what?
Watching him, I felt like I was watching a football player.
Yeah. He's awesome. And he's been awesome all year, and I was really excited to see what he would do in the Big Ten tournament in March Madness, and then totally came to fruition on, Saturday they played. So that's one team I'm very intrigued by. The other team is Iowa State. They're without Jefferson, who's one of their best players, but it looks like they haven't missed a beat. They beat the snot out of everybody this weekend.
Now, your second one.
Yeah.
Do you want to come clean?
I'll let you do it.
Yeah. Speaking of pointing thumbs and fingers.
The second one so happens to align with the team you've picked to win the national championship in multiple brackets.
That is correct.
Interesting.
That is correct.
So, therefore, I could pick Michigan because that's the team I picked.
They are fun.
Are they fun?
Dude, okay. Well, last thing, and then I want to get to Giannis, and I want to get to something Will's got from the weekend. Something I am not looking forward to this weekend. That Nebraska-Iowa game is going to be absolutely disgusting. And I love Big Ten basketball. I watched so much Big Ten basketball this year. I don't want to see this again.
I'm rooting for Nebraska. You want to know why? Survivor pick.
There you go. I am also rooting for Nebraska because I don't want to see Iowa play basketball anymore. Fun story. Last night was actually very entertaining when they beat Florida. Who, thankfully, I moved off of Florida to Iowa State the morning of the tournament beginning, so good by me. I had Florida up until about 10 a.m. Thursday. I changed my pick, so good on me. But yeah,
Was St. John's the worst game? That game was a grind.
Yeah.
No. It was
that
not.
game was
no.
a grind.
Kansas is playing some of the worst basketball I've ever seen.
Virginia, Tennessee.
Couldn't inbound the ball.
Virginia, Tennessee was the
It's
worst game.
crazy.
Did you guys watch Virginia, Tennessee?
Yes.
That was much worse. It was high. It was a little bit higher
I didn't
scoring.
watch because
That was a disgusting.
Virginia is the most uninteresting good basketball team
Yes.
of all time. I never watch their games.
I mean, the St. John's game, at one point they had missed like 12 consecutive shots. The other team Kansas was having trouble inbounding, and it was like, what is this?
That East region?
Crazy that's the two like mastermind head coaches too, and they had the biggest troubles doing the simplest things.
That East region, speaking of mastermind head coaches, John Shire, Rick Pitino, Tom Izzo, Dan Hurley. Those are your four coaches left in the East region.
I
don't know if I'd call John Shire a mastermind head coach.
He's a mastermind basketball mind. He's obviously not proven enough yet as the head coach of Duke, but they are the number 1 overall seed in the tournament, and you can't take that away from him.
He needs to win some championships.
This might be the year.
I mean, last year had a more talented team.
Oh, for sure, yeah. But that team last year with Cooper Flagg and Con Knipple, I feel like they made so many like rookie mistakes, if you will. You probably saw that a little bit in the first half against Siena, but it felt like Duke kind of shed their, all right, we're better than we look.
Hate Duke.
I do too. But I will say this, I hate them, but college basketball is better when Duke is good. It's just a fact. It's good to have a team you can hate like that. And Duke is certainly that. Although I like John Shire, but nah. I don't want to see Duke win it. They very well could. All right. Those are my final thoughts on the first weekend of the NCAA tournament.
Do you want to update us on your pool that you run yourself and where you may fall in it?
Yeah. Sure, I have to look, but...
do you also want to update us on where somebody who shares a bloodline with you is also?
A bloodline. I can see what that means. All right. My bracket that I ran, 46 entries. Oh, no. I am in 38th place. I am tied with my mother at 38th place, and my brother is in 45th of 46th place.
What about the other people on this show? Where are they in this? Just curious.
Will Sommers, 6th place. Joshy D, 11th place.
I was in first until
Brad Nortman in first place.
Do you think it's better for brackets to not watch as much college basketball?
Homer True in 3rd place. What does that tell you?
Well, I don't know, because you watch a lot of college basketball, and you're in last.
That's all he told me about.
Yeah.
I rarely do well in brackets. I overthink them.
Or you just don't know ball.
I mean, I will say this. I am in the 91st percentile for my women's bracket. I got that going for me.
There you go.
I'm in 11th place of a 165-person pool on the women's side.
What about in our ESPN Wisconsin bracket?
Yeah,
challenge?
I feared you were going to ask me. All right, so ESPN Wisconsin bracket challenge. There's 493 entrants.
So your odds of being like lower aren't as high.
493 entrants in the ESPN Wisconsin bracket challenge, brought to you by Cousin Subs. First place winner will win a $500 gift card to Cousin Subs, available at any location in the state. 493. I am in 385th. 385.
That same one, I'm in 93rd, and I'm disappointed with my showing.
Wow. But guys,
I'm in 42nd. So am I the expert on college basketball, Mr. Relevant expert?
Yeah, probably at this point.
Okay.
Now I will say all four of my final four are still alive.
If you don't end up beating me and Josh, you can't do a handwritten bracket next year.
I believe I have 7 of my 8 Elite 8 left.
You're banned from doing handwritten brackets.
You can't ban me from doing my tradition.
If you're not good at picking it.
Yeah. Maybe you need to find a new thing.
What did you guys say I was going to do next year? I had to do something with the bracket. I forgot what you told me.
I forgot to.
Memorize it?
Somebody tell us.
Josh was making fun of me last Monday and gave me like a challenge.
I think I'm staking my flag in college basketball. I think you need to pick a new sport now.
I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like the foremost expert.
I think
it's the first weekend.
I think
the most games.
What if Iowa State wins it all?
Whomever amongst us ends up finishing higher has to be referred to as the college basketball expert until the next tournament.
Here's the thing.
Yep.
I'm irritated you're bringing this up now. Had you done this a week ago, I'd been like, I'm in.
What?
But now you're just doing it to spite me.
What?
Because you know it's going to fire me up.
You are a guy who likes to claim a lot of territory, and Will and I are clawing back and saying, maybe we should be the college basketball experts.
We don't watch that much college basketball.
Yeah, but that's the problem.
This thing isn't. Yeah, and we're better at it than you.
Yeah.
Oh, I overthink it because I know too much.
That's your fault.
No, you think you know too much, but actually you might know nothing.
Yeah. Maybe our brains are just so developed that we don't need to watch as much. We're like, oh, we get it.
How's Fanta's bracket doing? Somebody check in on that for me.
You can't compare yourself to Fanta.
Well, I would imagine he's having a similar issue. Watch too much college ball this year.
Here's a good example. Jay Billis, 99.5 percentile.
Really? Good for him.
Peter Schrager, 97th percentile. Kevin Nagandi, 97th. Dick Vitale, 94th percentile.
He's the best.
Jay Williams, 94th percentile.
He's got Duke winning all, huh?
Gabe Neitzel, 94 percentile.
Look at Gabriel.
I think me and Gabe are the same. So,
So
cut from the same cloth, you and
Yeah.
Neitzel, no doubt about that.
seems like pretty fair.
I don't think it's a college basketball problem. I think it's a you problem.
Yeah.
That I'm not arguing with. Wisconsin screwed me. I had Florida in the Elite Eight. That screwed me.
Clinton Yates has a bracket that is in the 8th percentile, which is impressive. TCU over Duke.
Wow. Where am I? Where's my bad bracket? I'm at the 31st percentile.
I am 83rd percentile and 90th.
I am in the same company as Rich Eisen. Me and Rich Eisen have the exact same score.
All right, we can start doing brackets for every single, like we'll do an NFL playoff bracket, MLB, NBA.
I love this.
And if you win it, you get to be the expert.
That's actually a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
So let's do that for the rest of the way out.
It's going to be really cool, and I'm just the expert on all sports.
Both of you made women's basketball brackets as well, I assume?
I did not.
Josh, you did?
I did. I blindly picked it.
Okay. All right. Well, there's bracket talk. You have the Giannis audio I asked for already?
I do.
Okay, wonderful. So Giannis, we talked about the saga on Friday a little bit, but effectively in a 90-minute exclusive sit-down with ESPN, Wes Edens and Jimmy Haslam told ESPN in West Palm Beach, Florida, that it is either going to be a Supermax or a trade this offseason for Giannis. Those are the only two options on the table. He will not play next season for the Bucks unless he is signed a Supermax extension. Now, this weekend, Giannis was posting some things on Instagram, and it was only on a story, so only available for 24 hours, and some of it flew under the radar because everybody's distracted by college basketball and things going on. It's the weekend. And he posted a 2.5-minute clip from the movie Air, which is the one about Michael Jordan. It features, who's the actor? Matt Damon, thank you. Who I always forget his name for some reason.
Yeah, not like he's like super famous or anything.
I'm a Matt Damon fan. I just always forget his name. I always want to call him
You're a fan of everything.
Jason Bateman. I always screw those two up for some reason.
Can you name an actor you don't like?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Nicolas Cage. Very famously. I think he has no chops. I think he...
Yeah, but that's like his whole thing.
I think his face is
Whoa.
You've seen a picture of Nick Cage before?
Yeah, I just don't think you should be judging him based on his face.
Looks.
Well, actors are supposed to be good looking.
What about his personality?
What about the Benedict Cumberbatch or whatever? That's an ugly guy.
You ever seen National Treasure?
Yeah, that's fine.
You
I think that's an overrated movie.
Nicolas Cage is like the go-to answer.
I don't think that's true.
You're not really.
Yeah, you don't get Nicolas Cage if you say that.
Yeah.
You said name one actor I don't like. That's my answer.
What are your thoughts on Adam Sandler?
Has some good movies, but a little shticky.
Yeah, I find him insufferable.
I don't think I'd go that far. Because, I think Grown Ups is a good movie.
I don't like Kevin Hart.
No,
he's just in
get
everything.
him out of my life.
I'm over him.
He's just in everything.
He's just not a good actor.
The king of overexposure.
He's the same guy in every movie too.
You guys familiar with Radio Man?
No.
So Radio Man is a dude that lives in New York, and he has been in more movies than anybody ever.
Oh, I do know exactly who this is. Yes.
And he is on every movie set. Like Jennifer Aniston, just to pull out a random actress, could walk up to him and be like, "Hey, what time is my call?" And he would know the answer. And he's befriended, Martin Scorsese and all these directors. And I just wanted a deep dive on Radio Man. Fascinating dude. All right. So anyway, back to Giannis and this quote from
It's the
Air.
most useless piece of information ever.
Like, yes, he's a guy that is just in the backgrounds of like hundreds of movies.
It's amazing.
And TV shows.
And Dr. Denver Dan says this room is totally full of supermodels. LOL.
Yeah, I don't think.
Fair point.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to be a leading star of a movie.
Yeah. So Giannis posting this clip from Air when Matt Damon is talking to Michael Jordan. This is just a quick snippet of it.
Money can buy you almost anything. It can't buy you immortality. That you have to earn.
So that's the beginning of the clip that goes on for about another 2 minutes. And that line being the starting point, and maybe I'm reading too deep into this, Josh, you can tell me whether or not I am, but to come out immediately after the Supermax news and to post, money can't buy you immortality, you have to earn that, I think that's relatively a sign of what's to come.
Yeah, I mean, enough, Giannis. Give it up. You've staked out your territory. We all know it. Your little messaging with your videos. Okay, enough. What good is this doing us? Who is this good for? What purpose does it serve? You want it out. We could tell. We enjoyed your time. We don't need the... Has anything aged more poorly than the I'm not bleeping leaving?
That's a great point.
Not yet.
Yeah,
it will not age
if he's traded, that's going to be legends. What does he say? Legends attract.
Yes.
Yeah.
They don't chase.
Again, I'm not dead yet.
You had to have dropped from your 15% you were at.
It's down to about 13.
I think 12.5.
It's down a touch. We round up around here. I don't want to say okay. So here's the trap I'm falling into, and you'll be able to relate to this. We've covered a lot of athletes over our years doing this. That, if it ends in divorce or if it ends bad, the most recent though and the most prevalent example is of course Aaron Rodgers, and we read into everything, every tweet, every like, every repost, every interview, every quote, every answer, every secondhand account of what's next with Aaron Rodgers. And obviously, we have reached that point with Giannis now that the Bucks are shutting him down for the remainder of the season.
Well, we've reached that point with Giannis because he wants us to.
Right. Well, and the biggest problem I have with this whole situation is Giannis is probably overly attempting to be the good guy.
Yes.
When I don't know that it's even necessary.
It's horseshoe theory. He's tried to be the good guy so bad he's coming out as the bad guy to many people.
I said this to you months ago. Even if he came out and said, "Hey, I'm going to request a trade," I don't think that many people would be mad at him, just given the current state of things.
I think people would be more accepting of that than they are with the cryptic posting and the circular speak and the when you're embroiled in the middle of a Giannis wants to be traded debacle, and you have people who are cluelessly and mindlessly saying he doesn't actually want to be traded, you don't take the opportunity to then say, I've actually never requested a trade. This is all inaccurate. He had every opportunity to do that during that saga and chose not to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then here's the thing, and I don't know if this is a language barrier or his posts aren't as cryptic as he might think they are. They're pretty plain. Mm-hmm. Like there's not a lot of guessing left in. Like Aaron Rodgers would say some things that you have to read into and sort of do. Like Giannis just kind of tells you what it is, but doesn't actually provide the context. Like, he said it all right there. The money isn't that important to him.
Right. So Supermax isn't going to move the needle.
Right.
Championships will.
Right.
And maybe he means that in terms of Milwaukee. We'll all find out together. Chris in MK says, ask for the trade. Don't pee in my head and tell me it's raining.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we've
pee on the head or pee on the leg.
But
I always thought it was leg.
I will tell you this, regardless. I will tell you this. Thanasis Live is coming up on Friday at the Riverside Theater. Thanasis Antetokounmpo will bring his show to the Riverside Theater, do it live. I've been at each of the two that have happened in Wisconsin. This will be the fourth overall. One happened in Athens, Greece last year. This will be the fourth overall, third in Wisconsin.
How big of a part of the show do you think yourself would be?
I would be?
Yes.
Well, I'm behind the scenes.
Okay, great. So all those people worried about having to deal with more Alex Strouf, you're in the clear.
Yes, correct. Yes. You will likely not hear nor see me at any point of the show.
Just for anybody out there who might be on that side of the fence.
Just want to plug this though, because there's always surprises. There's always surprise guests, and I will say the past two, Giannis has been a part of it. I have no idea if he is or is not this time around, but he has been. the past couple times. And right now we are running a BOGO special for the week of. You buy one, ESPN Wisconsin will buy the other. Head over to TALiveshow.com. It's coming up Friday, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock doors, 7 o'clock show. TALiveshow.com. Our boy Ric Flair, will be there. The kiss stealing, wheeling, dealing, jet flying, limousine riding son of a gun.
Our boy.
The nature boy. Woo! Ric Flair will be there. Pat Murphy, back-to-back NL Manager of the Year, will be there. The opening day starter, the day after opening day, Jacob Mizorowski will be there. You should too. TALiveshow.com and use the code ESPNWIBOGO. ESPN Wisconsin WI BOGO BOGO. ESPNWIBOGO. Buy one, get an extra. Buy three, get three extra. Buy 10, get 10 extra. ESPNWI BOGO at TALiveshow.com for Thanalysis Live coming up this Friday. And an added bonus, you probably won't see me, despite the fact that I will be in the building.
I'll be there too. You might see me.
We might see you.
Yeah.
You'll be out and about a little bit.
Yeah.
You're going to be running the show?
Yeah, they got to keep, the prominent.
Yep, front and center.
The Moggers.
Yeah, well, Mr. College Basketball.
Yeah.
Are you going to frame Mog Ric Flair?
I'm definitely going to frame Mog Strouf as a warm-up, and then we'll see how I'm feeling there.
Sure. I was actually watching WCW highlights last night, and it was the second to last show on the Turner Network prior to the...
The context is not important.
Yeah.
Well, Ric Flair...
It's not going to make me any more interested.
The general manager called in via the phone to pretty much announce, hey, our last show ever of WCW is next week, and Ric Flair was in the ring. And he said... If you're any good for this company, Ric Flair, you will kiss Dusty Rhodes' ass. And it's all Ric Flair over it's amazing. All right, anyway, it's time now for What We Missed. And it is a Monday, which we are going to try to do this every Monday from this point forward. Will has been doing a thing for a while off and on, and we're bringing it back. I believe he's calling it Squilliam Sundays, where you try something new every Sunday.
Yeah.
And what was this week's?
This week, I actually didn't do it on Sunday because I don't know if you can, but I got a passport.
Okay, how'd that go?
For the first time, I got a passport.
Okay, and?
It went good. So the first thing, obviously, you have to go get your picture taken.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to smile, which kind of was a detriment to me because after, leadership, that's my second best quality is my smile.
After leadership?
Yeah. Leadership is definitely one of my top qualities.
Mm-hmm.
So
checks out.
Didn't get to put that on display. But I went to the post office. You have to pay for it, which really sucked. I didn't really figure that much. The funniest part, though, you guys will get a kick out of this, is that you needed to provide a second form of identification, which I didn't really have. And I was kind of thumbing through my wallet looking for anything with my name on it. And the lady saw my Costco card.
Yep.
And she was like, oh, you could use that. But what she didn't realize is, and I'll put it on the video stream, I took the stupidest picture with my Costco card.
Are you doing so I don't have it up right now. I can't see it.
I
Are you
made
doing
the dumbest face because I thought it was funny when I got my Costco card.
He's scrunching his eyes, his nose, and his face as scrunched as possible.
It was just
It's a horrendous look. That's going to be the picture on your passport?
No, because you get it taken out.
No, he just needed to provide a second form of identification.
Sure.
Which I didn't know you could use a Costco card for. I guess
I didn't either.
It does make sense, your picture's on it and it's related to you. But I don't know how stringent the process is of, I see it now, of Costco. How hard did they prove your identity when you got a Costco card?
When I got the Costco card or the passport? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Not much.
So that to me, as a second form of identification, is a little sketchy.
Yeah. I also found my student ID, which was a picture of myself when I was 17. So, but I mean, it all worked out.
That one works out.
Yeah.
There is something.
I just felt really silly for a government issued passport to have to give my grocery store ID.
Woven throughout this, the most fascinating part to me is young Will here went and booked an appointment to get his passport. Mm-hmm. But in doing that, took no steps to figure out how much it cost, nor what type of identification he would need to travel internationally and to be approved that travel. He didn't stop at any point and say, boop, 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 boop. What do you need to get a passport? Which they would tell you.
But if you look it up though, they don't say anything about a second form of identification.
Yes,
they do. You're supposed to bring your birth certificate.
I did bring my birth certificate.
Well,
so I guess it was a third form because I had my birth certificate. You have to fill out all these forms. I had my driver's license, and then they asked for another form.
Okay. So
it's not on me.
Okay, do not. Yes, it is.
This is on you because when I went to get my passport,
I think I should be praised because I did this in like a day.
What?
Like I learned I was going overseas.
I did this in a day.
I figured it all out so fast.
Clearly, you
I got
didn't.
the pictures taken.
you by a stroke of good luck happened.
You guys act like I didn't have a second form and I had to like run and go find one.
That's
or
not
get
what
one.
we're acting like.
No, not at all.
You're acting like you're a hero.
I could have given him my library card, which I also got on Schoolyam Sunday.
So I had to get maybe this is 2 years ago, a passport.
Yep.
And I went there with the proper amount of I not only looked up how much it cost, but I looked up what I would need. I brought my birth certificate, took it to the counter, and the woman said, "You have the wrong birth certificate." And I said, "Well, that's a problem because this is the only one I got. This is the one I got from."
What does that mean?
Apparently, they've updated them to a newer form where they used to use initials and now they have to use full names for your parents. And there was some initializing going on. So then I had to go to, luckily, right down here, not far from here, there you can just go get your passport if you provide them, and they can print it off for you. And then I had to go back there and sign. And I also got scolded because the chair was put in a weird position, and I moved the chair, figuring, I would probably put my back to the wall, and the guy lost his mind and said, chair was there for a reason.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. When I got my passport photo taken, I had to go to a Walmart, which was across the street from the post office that I lived at in the Madison area at the time. And I went into the Walgreens.
You lived at a post office?
The photo department at the Walmart?
So I went to the technology booth, and this dude was stoned out of his mind, right? There was, like, no doubt about it. This guy was on another planet. And he set up a white backdrop, and the white backdrop was only about 3.5 feet tall. Okay, so I'm 6'3". It only goes up to about my belly button, a little bit above that. So he goes, "Hey, I don't have a chair. Can you just squat?" So I'm in the, and we're doing this. We're not a back room. We're in the middle of the Walmart electronics section, and I am squatting low, way down here, right? Just like, and I can't smile to Will's point. And that was how my passport photo was taken. So my legs were sore the next day.
She goes, "I need to swear you in," and I said, "What?" And then she said it again, and I started laughing because I thought it was like a joke. And then she's like, "No, I actually need to swear you in. Like, put your hand up." I had to take an oath. But the experience was pretty flawed because you don't even get the passport at the end.
No, it takes a while.
Which I thought you would just get it.
Got to print in another city.
Yeah.
Yep.
It takes 4 to 6 weeks.
Takes weeks. Yep. That's how that goes.
So yeah, and it costs money.
You didn't pay for the expedited?
No.
I did when I went.
I paid for expedited.
And it only took like a week or two.
Yeah.
It was very fast.
I don't need it that fast.
Okay, well, that's good. Where are you going?
I'm going to Ireland.
Amen.
I'm going to cancel your vacation.
All right, that's going to do it for us
don't.
today. We're back with you Wednesday, 12:30 Central, ESPN Madison, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. And, of course, available wherever you get your podcast. Weird one today. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the ESPN Wisconsin app. We'll be back with you Wednesday. Probably no more clavicular talk ever again, I would hope. Talk to you then. Peace.
Maybe one more time.